Talked about recession, right? So what's going to happen when the next one comes? Our job is to keep you guys recession-proof. So 4 things. Visibility. So can you be found? Again, I got a question from Shirlisa and Jason last night. We have a brand new school. What do we do to make sure that the phone's ringing? You got to be found. You got to be found online, primarily, online and offline. But are you visible? So many times I talk to folks, and they're like, we don't have a good location. You can't see us from the road. Okay. Well, it's not just visible physically. Are you on the map for your keywords? But both things are important. You know, how can we fix the visibility from the road? How can we get strategically creative with that? And how do we make sure that we're coming up for our keywords so parents find us? So you just got to be found. And a lot of you guys have some work to do in that area, I feel. I feel like it's still a struggle. Because who got into the childcare business so that you could be a great marketer? Anybody? So many times you guys are like, I really don't want to be a marketer, Chris. And I say, I understand that. But the people who survive recessions are marketers of their business. They're the chief marketing officer. If you're the owner of your childcare company and you want to grow, a piece of what you do has got to be the CMO, the chief marketing officer of your company. Got to be. Now, you don't have to go do the work. You can hire it all out, and should, and delegate. But you got to keep your eye on that ball. You got to keep your eye on your tracking, your metrics, your enrollment, your conversion. Are your people using a phone script? I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to visibility. So the people who are visible in our space, who are getting lots of calls and leads because their marketing and their message is out there, are going to survive the recession versus the folks who don't. Number 2 is differentiation. How are you really different in a way that's compelling to parents? Get crystal clear and crisp on unique benefits and differences that really say, the way that my center is different from the others in my market or my area are X, Y, and Z. And they're very concrete things that matter to parents. They're not quality of care or a great curriculum. That's not enough. Number 3 is trust. Got to have trust. What does that mean? Do you guys have a culture of trust? Do your parents, when they come in, have that lovey, warm feeling, and you're professional but loving, and they trust that you know what, they trust you. They trust you with their most precious asset, of course. You guys actually are not in the business of childcare. You're in the business of trust. You're in the trust business. And you're also in the overcoming guilt business. Several of you, last year we had Dennis Vickers on this stage, and he did an incredible talk, and several of you told me after that what he said was the most impactful thing that you heard the entire summit, which was your number 1 job is to overcome parents' guilt. Pretty profound. So you're in the trust business. And then, so if you have trust between teachers and children and parents and leadership, directors, owners, and you have a culture of trust, you'll be much more likely to stay open during the next recession. You'll just be able to keep those parents with you. The silly video in the beginning of the session, my little intro video that I did with Bungalow, which was super fun to do, by the way, we talk about strengthening your loyalty fence. And by the way, I just want you guys to know that I don't walk around going, Chrisisms. like I did in the video. That was just for the video. I really don't take myself that seriously. It was all tongue-in-cheek. I hope you guys know that. But yeah, one of my sayings is strengthen your loyalty fence, which is this. It's retention. Parent retention is so key. And the biggest piece of that is communication, daily communication, and solid, strong communication, and photos and videos. Parents are dying for those photos and videos. I was just talking to somebody the other day, one of y'all, about that when our teachers don't send the daily photos and videos, we hear about it. Parents call up, where's my video? Where's my photo? So it's there, I think we're kind of addicted to it with social media and with putting photos and selfies, and we're going to do some selfies, by the way, later. You guys going to do some selfies with me? Are you going to do some selfies with me? Okay, thank you. I was getting a complex there for a minute. So those things are essential to trust. Communication, loyalty fence, and great, just that culture that you have that open communication with your team. Does your staff know what your goals are? Do they know what your why is? Do they know what your vision is? Do they know where you're headed? Do they know your challenges and struggles? Have you communicated? Have you asked for help? Can you get their buy-in? So that's leadership-based stuff that all feeds into trust. So number 4 is leadership. Are you being a leader that engenders trust, gives people the data they need to do their job, does not micromanage people? Please hear me on that one. There's nothing more that's going to make them feel demotivated than not giving them wings. Just give them the job and let them figure out, mostly, how to do it the way they want to do it. Okay? You don't need to micromanage the process. It's easier for you. So, 4 keys to a recession-proof business. Visibility, differentiation, trust, and leadership.